Yo, yo, yo. What's good, everybody? It's your boy JTL Opposite from the Norm. Before I get started, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Alright, so I decided to do this post early morning. I was just doing some things, and, you know, not too long ago, got done working, getting some grub and all that good stuff. But I was just scrolling through Facebook. I thought about this family member I ain't spoke to in a good little minute. Went to their Facebook, and I seen some of their posts. I ain't gonna lie, some disturbed me, some I was happy to see, because they was talking about God a lot. So I'm like, that's what's up. You know what I mean? Talking about God, talking about Christ, talking about the Son, and just the blessings and praying for people. I'm happy for this person. I know they came a long way. But what bothered me about this is they was saying a lot of Republican rhetoric and then throwing God in the middle of it. And it bothered me because I see a lot of people doing this. And what's so sad is that people still don't get it. Like, you have the people that know what they're doing, that's out there brainwashing people. I ain't gotta say no names. Y'all already know who a lot of these people are. They sitting around brainwashing people, getting money off of it. You know what I'm saying? They talk about Black Lives Matter, but if you look into who they work for, a lot of these people, come to find out, work for Turning Point USA, which is conservative. You know what I'm saying? They work for Turning Point USA. You have to question that because they're making a check off of it. You know what I'm saying? But then you will see a lot of other people who might just be conservatives who don't make no money off it. I'm talking about they don't got no YouTube channel. They don't work for Turning Point USA. Matter of fact, they not even out there bothering everybody else. They just live their life. They working. You know what I'm saying? And whatever. If they capitalists because they're Republican, hey, that's their business. As long as they ain't out there really hurting nobody. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they have a business. They run a small business. They employ people. They help. They give. They volunteer. It's just certain things, that Republican things that they agree with. I don't personally, because I know Republicans are, one of their biggest things is capitalism. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with going out there establishing stability for you and your family. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, for a person to believe in God, to me, capitalism does not fall into that rank. You know what I'm saying? Because you might end up being more concerned with being a capitalist than being for your people. Like, God wants you to be for your neighbor and loving, all that. But to each his own. You know what I'm saying? But I have a lot of those people push this rhetoric and they get paychecks off of it. And when they didn't used to be like that. So now they get paychecks off of it. You get what I'm saying? Which is still their business, but what's so sad is a lot of other people are not able to fight that. Because this family member, I love them dearly, but what's so sad is they don't realize the devil is in that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think about it like this. When you holler all lives matter, and you don't think about the fact that, okay, that was in response to Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter should have had two under it, because apparently people choose not to get it, or they're easily brainwashed by somebody, I guess, who's mentally stronger and able to manipulate them. Because think about it like this, all right? When you say all lives matter to Black Lives Matter, like I said, maybe you should have said Black Lives Matter too, or Black Lives Matter as well. Matter of fact, I might make a shirt like that. Y'all don't steal that. I'm copyrighting that right now. I said it first on this beautiful morning of October 9th. Okay? But, excuse me. It's so sad because my family member and a lot of other people don't think about the fact that when people say, no, all lives matter, y'all should be saying that to racist people, not to black people. When black people say Black Lives Matter, for the ones who, and I'm not talking about for the black people that's like that, you or whoever may feel is trying to hustle people with the Black Lives Matter. Because like I said again, it's certain things I agree with the Black Lives Matter, and the only reason why I couldn't really come against it like that is because you got to think. The same way Black Panthers was a positive organization for the community, the government turned on them. The same way Malcolm X got arrested, so was something positive for the black community, they turned on him. Marcus Garvey, they turned on him. Muhammad Ali, they turned on him. Martin Luther King Jr., they turned on him. All these people that they say now, oh, Martin Luther King, he did it the best because X, Y, Z, but he still got killed. And then you got to realize, if Martin Luther King was still alive today, he would be part of the NAACP. And everybody talk shit about the NAACP, so you know you would not like him. Muhammad Ali would be with the Nation of Islam. Y'all know y'all wouldn't like him. All the things that these All Lives Matter people talk crap about would not like these people if they was around now, because they would still be part of these organizations they hated back then. All right? But, you know, the reason why I can't just totally discredit Black Lives Matter is because I look at the phrase Black Lives Matter. I'm not looking at the organization. I'm looking at that phrase, Black Lives Matter. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at the organization. Fuck the organization. I'm talking about me and my people. Our lives fucking matter. So when I hear all lives matter, for a black person to sling that with racist people, it bothers me, because why is it that us as black people, right, we attack our own selves for trying to have some motivation, to trying to have some self-worth for ourselves? We jump with them on that side and say all lives matter. We know all lives matter. But the main thing we're saying is our lives matter too. Let's think about this too when they talk about the police. Oh, we talking about black people, Black Lives Matter. Where we at when we killing each other? All right, what's so sad is, do people do their research? Like I said many a times, my son and Tamika Mallory, they did a walk like that. Here in St. Petersburg, we have this saying in March that we done called Not My Son. And that's so that we stay out of trouble, and we also try our best to make sure we care about our black boys and not becoming statistics. Not something just against the police, because part of the organization had the police involved. So you got that. You got what, like I said before, I forget the name of the organization. Please excuse me. Matter of fact, when I got to put up a post, showing all these different black organizations. But the brother GLC that was signed to Kanye West's record label, Good Music, him and his brother had something like that out there in Chicago. I think it's on the south side, if I'm not mistaken, of Chicago, west side or the south side. And nobody talks about that. But y'all can go look this up if you want to. Go look up Colin Noir. And he done like a mini doc on black gun ownership, and they talk about the brothers GLC and his brother and what they did, what they're doing, and with their organization in Chicago. So go look up Colin Noir and black gun ownership, and it's part of that mini doc series that he made. Go look that up. Nobody talks about that. Nobody is talking about Big U, who used to manage Corrupt from Death Row, manage Nipsey Hussle, God rest his soul. Big U has that same type of thing that he's out there doing with the gang members to help bring down crime. As a matter of fact, he even, God bless him and his people got together and did a march after Nipsey Hussle, not too long after Nipsey Hussle was killed, God rest his soul, and brought a lot of rival gangs together. And he's originally from Rolling 60s, Crips. And a lot of the gangs that they fight against. Now, please excuse me if I misquote or say the wrong name, but I believe they had problems with bounty hunters, which I think was Bloods, and the 8 Trey Crips. And a lot of them got together and did a march to stop the violence. So we have these things going on, but the problem is nobody highlights it. So why you have people out there saying, "Hey, well, y'all never march when black people kill each other"? That's bullshit. That's a lie. You have a lot of black organizations that are trying, but they don't get no highlight. Now, if y'all gonna say that, at least please go do your research and name some of these brothers and sisters that are out here doing this. Because if you mean to tell me somebody like Tamika Mallory and my son can have a march for black people and still come out and say, what the police are doing is wrong, I mean, you got to give them some kind of credit for them doing those type of marches, them going to the prison system and talking to young brothers and sisters about staying out of trouble when they come out of prison, and really work on being, not institutionalized. You don't want to be institutionalized, but actually being reformed from prison. You know what I'm saying? Actually making that transition that when they leave prison, that they're able to, you know what I'm saying, return successfully into society. You have people that are trying to do these things, and they put them on the videos all the time. You see the posts all the time. We have become our own news for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So you see these things all the time, and I just pray that people realize something. Instead of spewing these things at people, if you say you're a God-fearing, loving person, then leave it at God. You don't have to say no more. Because that's another thing, my family member, like I said, I love him dearly, but that's the problem I had. And I pray for him and his family. God bless him. But when he says about the mask thing, don't wear the mask, or the coronavirus spike is BS, or all lives matter, Black Lives Matter, but why y'all ain't protest? If you love God, you love Jesus, and you talking about against the LGBT, I'm talking about for people like him. If you know you love these people, because I keep seeing them say, people should know me, or if you didn't know me, I guess you wasn't a true friend, or whatever. But if you love somebody, like you say, regardless of their sexual orientation, or this or that, leave it at that. Don't even come online and spew that. Let them know that God love you. If you come around somebody, and they be like, why you ain't got your mask? You can say, hey, I personally don't, I don't worry about wearing masks. You know what I'm saying? But hey, if you feel you need to, man, do your thing. Go ahead, do your thing. Leave it at that. Somebody gay, you don't practice that lifestyle. They see you got a wife and kids. If they ain't saying nothing to you about it, mind your business. Leave it alone. Leave it at God. God love you. I love you. God loves you. He teaches me to love you, so I love you. If you don't agree with Black Lives Matter and you think all lives matter, that's fine. But if you got to jump online and say it all the time, that's where the problem happens at. When Colin Kaepernick happened, and this is my point, what makes us feel as black people overall that this is disrespect? Because when Colin Kaepernick said what he said, you know how they could have deaded that in a heartbeat? You know what? We feel Colin Kaepernick is right. You know what I'm saying? We see these injustices that on TV that black people feel. Even if we're different from a different race and we don't feel that, and we don't go through that, it's bothering him some kind of way. So whatever organization that he started or that he supports, we're gonna put $1 million towards what he's doing. Doesn't mean we don't support our police officers. We're not saying all police officers are bad, but we care about this brother. You know what I'm saying? I have officer friends and they know I care about them. But there's no way I can watch this person in pain and not be there for him. We don't just want to use him to make money off of him, but we care about him and what matters to him as well. Simple as that. That I guarantee you, that would have ended that kneeling a lot quicker than trying to silence his protest. They made that protest bigger than what it ended up having to be, because you got to realize something. They made money off a lot of endorsements. That's just like when a football player wants to wear headphones that they're not getting endorsed by, like a Beats by Dre, and say they want to wear Sony headphones, they got to put tape over it. That's silencing their voice, right? Because they get paid, right? Do they make sure them athletes get paid? Because I guarantee if them athletes were getting paid off them Beats by Dre headphones that they were soliciting, I guarantee you, football players be like, Sony who? I'm wearing Beats, bro. I get a check from this. I'm gonna wear it. But they don't think about that. So this is something I just want y'all to really consider. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to voicing your opinion, you know what I'm saying? If you say how much you love God, I love everybody. So when you got to remember something, when you go to voice your opinion, make sure you're willing to deal with what comes with that. Because this family member, I say again, I love him dearly. I pray for him and his family. I love them too. But what he got to realize is, because I went through this with him a couple years ago, and I unfriended him from Facebook. I just went to Facebook to be a little nosy. Check on him too, but be nosy really. But, we had a discussion about the Colin Kaepernick thing. I'm like, homeboy, you forgetting where you come from, man. You forgetting where you come from, homeboy. And what he did, instead of having a discussion with me, he took me out. He erased my post off of there. Because I seen other people talking to him, and he was acting like, oh, we can't have a conversation no more. The people were saying, no, we can't have a conversation no more. I'm losing friends, blase squaza. But when people voice their opinion, you erase it off. You let no conflicting arguments or opinions stay on your page to make yourself look good. And that's hypocritical, because you're not having a conversation about it. You saying whatever you want, and you only want good feedback. When me and my partner say stuff on here, we have no problem replying back to other people. The only problem is every time, and my partner get on me for this, I get on him for this. The only problem is it turns into an argument because they'll say something ignorant instead of having conversation to show that they really trying to find out what's up. So that's why I might ignore some or say, well, fuck you then. Because if I'm talking about something that has to pertain with black people, and you come back instead of just, how do I figure this out? I can't tell you what to say, but I'm just saying what makes sense so we can have a conversation. Because I remember this one conversation, I'm talking to somebody, we're having a conversation because of a post I put on somebody else's page, a comment that I made. And I was just talking about, what black people had to go through, like somebody like an Obama, somebody like a Condoleezza Rice. And now notice what I just said, or a I'm sorry, I forget the brother's name. I forget it. Colin Powell. Now, mind you, I said you can see what black people may have had to go through, or we know what black people had to go through, being from the days they're from 40s to this, no, 40s and 50s. All right, no, probably the 30s to, yeah, almost the late 30s to late 50s, from Colin Powell's age range, Condoleezza Rice's age range to Barack Obama's age range. What tripped me out when I pointed that out, 3 black people I just named, this white person tried to turn the argument into a Democrat versus Republicans. Mind you, out of those 3 black people I named when I was talking to this person about my comments, think about this. Only one of them is a Democrat. The other 2 are Republicans. This white person was so blinded to have this black people always choose Democrat conversation instead of dealing with the fact of what I'm talking about when it comes to my people in general. He made it seem that it was a black people choosing Democrat conversation just so he can have an argument as a conservative. Not thinking about the fact that I named 3 black people, only one of them was a Democrat, the other 2 was Republicans. Condoleezza Rice worked under George Bush Jr. So did Colin Powell, sorry. They were Republicans. I mean, they worked under Bill Clinton too. Colin Powell did. But mind you, Colin Powell is a Republican, and so is Condoleezza Rice. So instead of us having a conversation about what I'm just saying, what my people had to do, because you got to remember, like I said, Colin Powell was probably born in the late 30s, because I think he's like 80 something now. Condoleezza Rice is probably like 60 now. So is Barack Obama. So they was born at least in the late 50s. So I just said, coming from where they come from, they probably had to work. Most likely, they had to work twice as hard to get to where they came. No, it ain't about twice as hard. I doubt they had to work twice as hard just because they was black. You mean to tell me them coming up in a time where your teacher could call you a nigger? Where your teacher, instead of your teacher saying, Barack, what's this problem on the board, she could be like, nigger, what's 3 plus 3, nigger? Instead of a teacher telling Condoleezza Rice, she looks nice today when she comes to the class. You look nice today, you look presentable, I'm sure you're going to have a great day. You might come in and say, hey, nigger, I like your puffs, nigger. Colin Powell. And don't tell him they spit on him and kicked him as he was getting off the school bus. I'm talking about way back then. This is before segregation. So my whole thing is, back to what I was saying, forget that ignorant motherfucker, because, well, my bad. It turned into some bullshit where he want to holler Brandon Tatum and Tommy Sowell and Candace Owens and all that, when I named Republicans that came before them. Well, except for Tommy Sowell, he around the age too, like 80 something. But majority of people I named came before Brandon Tatum and Candace Owens, because me and Brandon Tatum is the same age, and I'm older than Candace Owens. So, but he tried to turn into that, even though I named people that was Republican. So it was hard to have a good conversation, because he came back and said I was trying to say I was full of shit or something, and I had to cuss his ass out and put him in his place real quick. I said, fuck you and fuck them. because you didn't want to have a conversation. So that's the only people we don't have conversation with, because they come back and try to do that instead of you trying to understand. You're not black. You don't go through what we go through and walk through our shoes every day. And for those black people that make it seem like it's all good because they made it somewhere, does not speak for the black peoples of a collective of this country. You know what I'm saying? But back to what I was saying about my family, man. I love him dearly, his family. God bless them all. But I just find it sad that him and a lot of other people don't get it. This is reality, and nothing's gonna change. Just because your white friends come and tell you we shouldn't talk about race because they're privileged to not have to deal with it, don't mean that you're no longer black. Remember that. This your boy JT, opposite from the norm. Make sure you like, comment, share. Definitely make sure you subscribe. You know I'm coming at you with more. We get at you. Cheer.